The first night I arrived, the rain sounded like soft fingers on the window. The hostel stood on a hill above a town that slept with one eye open. A faded sign creaked over the door. Inside, the air tasted of old tea and dust. The owner greeted me with a smile that did not reach his eyes. In the first minutes, it felt like any place. Then, a knock came from the corridor. No one answered. The knock was patient, polite, like someone waiting to be invited back into a room. I remember thinking how ordinary the sound seemed until it happened again at midnight. At night, the building made itself known. Footsteps crossed the floor above my bed. The kettle boiled for 1 cup and stopped. Curtains lifted, though there was no draft. A whisper rustled beneath doors. Once, I woke to the weight of someone sitting at the foot of my bed. I did not turn on the light. I lay quiet and felt the pressure ease as if an invisible hand patted the bed. Other guests shared stories in low voices. A woman said she had seen a boy in the hallway who watched children play through the window. A man spoke of a door that clicked closed when no one stood near it. Items went missing and always reappeared in odd places. A ring turned up in a plant. A glove lay in a teacup. A photograph was found tucked behind a loose stairboard. The small things seemed to gather like breadcrumbs. We began to dream the same dream. A long corridor led to a lamp. Portraits hung in the walls. Each portrait had a brass plate with a name. In the dream, the lamp would sputter and go out. Cold would move like a hand along the spine. Waking felt like surfacing from deep water. We compared notes in the kitchen, eyes raw. Curiosity pulled me to the back of the house one night. A faint light slipped between rooms like a moth. I followed and found a narrow staircase I had missed. At the top was an attic, small and dust-soft. A single chair faced a trunk. On the chair lay a black notebook. The notebook held names. Each entry read like a postage stamp, small notes about leaving. Most entries spoke of relief and rain and finding the road again. A few were different. One line said, "I forgot the watch." Another read, "The house smiled and I stayed." My name was there. I had not written it. The ink seemed newer than the others. When I closed the book, the house thinned. The stair lamp flickered. Voices downstairs softened, as if reading over my shoulder. Instead of leaving the notebook where it lay, I tucked it into my jacket and walked back as if returning from a borrowed memory. After that night, the hostel watched me. Other guests touched their pockets and found new things inside. A spare key, a pressed flower, a small brass plate with a name engraved. I found a picture of the attic chair I had only just left. Each object felt like a thread pulling me deeper. One storm night, the wind battered the roof. The hostel hummed like a throat clearing. I opened the notebook in the common room. Someone had added a line beneath my name. I stayed. It was warm. It said, in a hand I did not know. Beneath it, a new sentence had appeared, neat and direct. "Thank you for staying." The owner stood in the doorway, though I had not heard him. He watched me with the same tired smile. "Some rooms keep their guests," he said. "Some people leave without taking everything. The house likes tokens." "Who are they?" I asked. "The names in the notebook, the faces in our dream." "People who found the house kinder than the road," he said. "People who were tired. People who chose the comfort of being remembered." He held out a small mirror. For a moment, I saw my face pale and thin. Behind the reflection, a shadow moved. It was shaped like the lamp in my dream, a small figure bent over a chair. "You can leave," he said quietly, "but the house asks for a small thing. A word, a watch, a name. It keeps them safe." I thought of the notebook under my jacket. I thought of the photograph in my pocket. I imagined the warmth the owner had mentioned. In the morning, the storm passed, and the town smelled clean. I left the notebook on the chair in the attic and walked away with a strange peace. Weeks later, in another city, I found a brass plate in my coat pocket. My name was etched on it. I had no memory of where it came from. I held it under the streetlight and felt the metal warm in my hand, as if someone had just picked it up. Sometimes, at night, I wake and think I hear slow footsteps overhead. I picture the hostel's lamp and the rows of portraits. I think of the people who stayed there and the small things they left behind. I do not know if the house keeps people because it is cruel or because it is lonely. I only know that memory can be a shelter as much as a prison. Sometimes I wonder about the portraits. I imagine them as visitors who kept coming back in sleep. Their faces are familiar now. I feel odd gratitude and a small, sharp sorrow. Memory is heavy. I carry it like a warm stone in my pocket. When I press the brass plate, I remember the hush of the attic and the owner's tired smile and the quiet. If you ever find a hostel with a crooked sign and rooms that breathe, leave a small thing behind. It may make the road easier. It may keep you close. Either way, you will be remembered.